Hello students, myself Popere KS, Assistant Professor Botany of Rare Shikshan Sanstha's RBNB College, Srirampur. In this lecture, we are going to study replication. So, let us first start with replication or what is replication. So, what is replication? So, replication, it is a process in which DNA make exact copy of itself. In this process, DNA, it makes exact copy of itself. Now next, this replication, there are different rates at which it occurs in different organisms. So in humans, it occurs at a rate of 50 nucleotide per second, and in case of bacteria, it occurs at the rate of 500 nucleotide per second. Okay, and it occurs at the S phase of the cell cycle. This replication, S phase of cell cycle. Cell cycle, it has different phases. It has 4 phases, that is G0, S phase, G2 phase and M phase. So at the S phase of the cell cycle, this replication is going to occur. Now there is means DNA has all the genetic material which is required for the replication to occur, but it can't do so on its own. Means what? It will require several other important factors to carry out this replication process. So it can't do replication on its own. So several other accessory factors or different important factors are required for this DNA to carry out the replication. Next is, so at earlier RNA was acting as a genetic material, but later on, as the evolutionary process or during the evolutionary process, now this DNA, it is starts acting as a genetic material. So, and during this replication process, there should be complete disruption of the DNA, the structure of the DNA. So there is disruption of the DNA. Disruption means the two strands should be completely open, or the two strands of the DNA must separate out. And how they are going to separate? Why? Because the two strands, they are held together by a loose hydrogen bonding between them. So the two strands, they can separate. So there is hydrogen bonding, or we can say weak hydrogen bonding between these two strands, and because of that the two strands can separate from each other. Now what will happen after the separation of the two strands? Suppose this is the DNA. Now after the separation of the two strands, now this 1 and 2, this both will act as a template strand, and they will do the process of replication. Means these two strands, they will act as a template, and they will the further replication process will occur, and at the end there is formation of the two daughter cells. That is it has, at the end there will be two strands, and each one having a parental strand and a new daughter cell. So this is about the replication, what will be happen during a replication, or what are the different things regarding replication. Now we will see the types of replication. There are different types of replication. We will study the 3 different types of replication. So let us first start with the first type of replication. So types of replication. So first let us start with the first type of replication. This is conservative type. So what will happen in this conservative type of replication, the double stranded DNA molecules will remain. Means what? Suppose this is the parental DNA, and what will happen after replication, this during the replication process, what will happen? This 2 strand will separate and each will act as a template for the synthesis of the new daughter strand. But at the end, what will happen? The 2 strand, that is the 2 parental strand, original parental strand, they will again wrap around themselves, and the new daughter cells or the new daughter strand, they will wrap around itself. So in this process, what is happening? That is, the old DNA double strand is conserving. Means here the new at the end of the replication, we are having a one, that is a parental, both the strand, and in this daughter cell, these are completely new strand. Okay, so this conservative type of replication, the old double stranded DNA is conserved. So this is called as a conservative type of replication. In second type of replication, second is called as dispersive type of replication. In dispersive type of replication, what will happen? There will be a parental strand and there will be dispersion of this parental strand, or the parental strand, it is going to means there will be a fragmentation of this parental strand. Suppose this is a parental strand. So now this 2 strand will unwind, or they will separate, and this both will act as a template. But in this disruptive method, there will be the fragmentation of the parental strand. So in the at the end of the replication, there will be a strand. So there will be a parental strand and there will be a new daughter strand. Again, same here. One will be a parental strand and one will be a new daughter strand. So one is parental strand. So this here, at the replication process, there is the fragmentation of the parental DNA. Now this fragment, each fragment, they will act as a template and for the synthesis of the further fragments, and at the end there will be formation of the new DNA, that is each consisting a parental strand and one that is the newly synthesized form. And in this DNA there is the presence of both the fragment of the parental strand and the new synthesized DNA in between. So this is called as dispersive method, because the parental fragments and the new form fragments, they are present at a different time interval, means between the spaces, that is they are dispersed within the DNA. So this is called as the dispersive type of DNA. Now the third type of replication, it is the semi-conservative type of replication. So this type of replication, these are mostly studied, or this is mostly credited, or this is considered to be the type of replication which is occurring in the DNA double stranded molecule. So what is happening in this case? In this case, suppose this is a DNA molecule. Okay, so this is the main double stranded DNA molecule. So what will be happening? During the replication process, this two strand is going to separate, and now each will be acting as a template for the RNA, that is replication process, to occur. So at the end, what will be there? Here, one will be the parental strand and other will be a complementary strand to this parental strand. Same as in this case also, one will be a parental strand, then other will be a newly formed strand, or we can say complementary to this strand. So at the end, what is there? There is one parental strand and one is the newly synthesized, that is complementary to this strand. So in this case, why this is called a semi-conservative method? Because this strand is having both, that is of the parental DNA and one the newly formed DNA which is complementary to this first. So this is called as the semi-conservative method of DNA replication. So these are the different three replication types, and of which this is mostly credited. Now we will see the experiment which shows that why this or which proves that the DNA is an the replication of DNA is an semi-conservative method. Okay, so the experiment, that is the DNA is semi-conservative. So this experiment was, there was an experiment that was done by the Michelson and Stock. So Michelson and Stock, they have performed an experiment, and what was done in that experiment? In that experiment, firstly the DNA, that is the nitrogen isotope, was taken. So first was, that is N14 and second is N15. This N14 is the normal non-radioactive isotope of the nitrogen, and N15, it is heavy and it is radioactive. Now why this radioisotope or this N14 and N15 were taken? Because it was, as we all know, nitrogen is an most important component of the that is DNA molecule. Now what is the next? For now they have taken, in first case, E. coli, that is Escherichia coli. They have taken E. coli and they have allowed this E. coli to grow for many generations in a medium containing N15 isotope, that is N15 NH4Cl. They grow E. coli in a medium containing NH4Cl, that is the containing heavy isotope N15, for several generations. Okay. Now after this, what is done? The DNA is isolated from this. They have taken Escherichia coli from this sample and their DNA was extracted. The DNA was taken, isolated the DNA, then extracted. Now what have done? Their DNA is extracted, then they have placed this DNA into CaCl solution, that is cesium chloride solution. Put this extracted DNA into CaCl solution and then allow it into ultracentrifuge centrifuge. Then after that it is allowed to sediment or allowed to rest. Okay, so first was the case, that is E. coli was taken. It was grown in a medium containing NH4Cl, that is N15 heavy isotope, for many generations. After that the DNA is extracted. It is then put it into a CSCl, that is cesium chloride solution, and after that it is ultracentrifuge and sediment. It is allowed to sediment or rest for minutes. Then after that what is done? In second case, this E. coli from the N15 medium were taken, and now they have put it into the N14, that is NH4Cl, the medium containing, that is the light, or we can say normal isotope of nitrogen. Now their DNA is taken, same, it is extracted and put it into the CCl, that is here it is grown. For here it is only grown for one generation. Then the DNA is extracted, then put it into CCl solution, then ultracentrifuge and allowed to sediment. Okay, but for here only for one generation. So what was found in that is, suppose we can say these are the tubes containing that is CL solution containing the different DNA. Okay, so what will happen? In the first case where N15 isotope was taken, that is a heavy isotope, so this was the first, that is the G0 phase. At this phase the band, after sedimentation it will forming a band, that is the heavy band. So it will be formed at a, so this band is of N15. After that here in second case, that is when the Escherichia coli from the N15 medium were taken and put it into the N14 medium, and there after the process of extraction, centrifugation and sedimentation, their band is formed, and the band is formed in the middle here. Why? Because it is containing the N15 the nitrogen, that is the heavy isotope, and N14. So it is an hybrid which is containing N14 plus N15. So what it is showing? It is showing that the replication, it is a semi-conservative method. How? Because the band is forming in middle here, and there is a presence of, why the band is forming here? Because it is containing the both, that is the heavy and light isotope of the nitrogen. And after that, after the second, this Escherichia coli were allowed to grow for many generations, that is in the G0 generation, this is G1 generation. Now in G2 generation there were a band formed in the middle, that is of the hybrid band, that is N14 and N15, and also a band which is formed here, that is lighter in weight, it is of the N14. So this band is of N14, and in further generation they allow this Escherichia coli to grow on the same, that is N14 containing medium. Now after this generation this band get broader. Okay, this N14 band get broader, that is broader, and this hybrid band was same in the broadness or of the same size. Only this N14 band gets on increasing. Why? Because this Escherichia coli is now growing on the N14 medium, but this hybrid band, it remains same in all the from G1 to the further generation. Now what this shows that the replication, it occurs in a semi-conservative method. Why? Because this hybrid band of N14 and N15, it is remaining same in all, that is from generation G1 to all the further generation, and after that when it is growing in the N14 medium, it is forming a new band at this stage, that is at the top, and this band is now increasing, or it is getting broader because now it is growing on this N14 medium. So by this experiment, it proves that DNA replication, it is an semi-conservative method. Okay, thank you.